I think I read a stat somewhere that black people, 5% of us are invested in the stock market. Yet I would argue that we probably push those stock market companies more than any other group per capita. Yet we're not invested in the very things that we push. So the world of investors are getting rich off of our dollar, off of our purchases, and we're not capitalize on it because we're not in the stock market. Talk a little bit about that, because in the Happy Investor Method, you have this whole club where you have people coming together around this notion of investing. So talk about that, Angela.
Absolutely. So it starts with canceling out your consumption. So that's what you're doing, right? If you're consuming, you're buying, you're just perpetuating other people getting richer. And then understanding, well, how can I start getting rich from other people getting richer? So if people are going to Walmart, waiting in line to buy everything there, why don't I just own Walmart too, right? Even if you go or don't go, there are tons of companies that I don't actually directly support, but I'll own their stock because they could still make me money. I don't have to give them my money, but they could still make me money. And so that's just the understanding that you have. And so I think a lot of us, we think of things as investments that aren't necessarily investments. We think about what's going to make us happier. Yes, my company's called the Happy Investor Method, but happiness is one thing, but it has to lead to an investment. I'm not going to go and spend, $400 on a meal when that could have literally been two shares of Zoom. What's going to last me longer? The meal that's literally going to leave my body in 24 hours and maybe a couple of jokes with the people that I had it with, or not, because we can't even be together right now. So what am I doing really? No, I'm going to get the Zoom because all of our meetings are on Zoom right now.
Right. But what about, for the novice investor, right? Because investing can be intimidating to somebody that doesn't know how to do it. I just started recently. So I'm looking at these companies that I feel like I'm late to the party. Like one share is 275. Like, what are my options if I only have a little bit of disposable income to throw at the stock market? What would you suggest?
So one thing, I say check your mindset, right? And so sometimes it's not that we might not be able to afford to invest. It's necessarily that we are not willing to lose the money, right? And so when I think about it, it's 275. 275 for many of us, especially if you can afford a SiriusXM subscription, this is not going to make or break the quality of your life, right? It may hurt you, but it's not going to make or break the quality of your life to the point where you can't eat, right? And if that's the case, maybe you shouldn't think about investing just yet, right? But for a lot of us, we have something set aside in the reserve. So now it's about, well, what can I afford to lose or that your mind thinks you can lose? And so either way, yes, you're right. Sometimes some of us were late to the party. But this is a beautiful thing where the party has been going since before you were born.
Right.
So you always been late to the party. Just a fact, right? People have been investing way before you've been here. And people are going to be investing way after you leave this planet. So that lets you know that you're right on time for the time that you're thinking about it, and you have to take action. So if you're thinking that you want to invest in Amazon, maybe you don't want to put, $3,000 into Amazon right now. You can still get a partial share, right? There are some companies that let you buy half a share, a quarter of a share, really a dollar amount, and you can still enjoy the rewards. Same thing with Tesla or anything like that. Just an example, the other day, I purchased Amazon, right? And my husband was actually yelling at me. He was like, we're going to spend $1,400 on one share. And I said, all right, pause. It's going to be okay. Like, I live in abundance, so we're going to get it back. Like, money flows always. So it's going to be okay. We're not going anywhere this year, so where's my travel money going? I got to do something with it, or I'm just going to buy stupid nonsense, or I'm just going to buy Chanel, honestly, because I really do like that brand. So that's not really smart. That's like the consumer make me happy, even though I have nowhere to go to show off the Chanel purse at all. So it makes no sense to get a Chanel purse. So I bought the stock, and then I just checked in on it. It's just been about a month and a half later. It's worth $3,000. And so now he's like, oh, man, you should have bought more. And I said, well, I'm not trying to lose sleep over some Amazon stock. Like, I just figured I'd buy it and then just show you in like 2-3 weeks what it's going to do. And now I'm going to have to buy more at a more expensive price, but I know it's going to continue to go up. Mm. If that makes
Angela,
any sense at all.
No, it makes, and this is what I love about what you do.